Welcome, everyone. I tell you, I am so excited for this day. I came to Piedmont Mountainside about 12 years ago. And when I got here 12 years ago, we were in the process of building a new emergency room and also expanding our operating area for the PACU, GI, and then our little med-surg unit on the other side of the ED. 12 years later, here we are with this absolutely beautiful expansion that we've got today that we're going to tour and everyone look at. But before we do, there are so many individuals that have played such a significant part in making this happen. And before I even begin to start talking about each of them, I want Ben Mott, where is Ben? Right here. Ben, to come up, because before we start, let's be sure that we bless where we are today and what it is standing for.
Well, I'm just curious, how many of you were at the groundbreaking back in September in which we prayed for this in the beginning? I know a number are. Before I get to the invocation here, please let me take advantage and share that tomorrow is the National Day of Prayer. Everyone is invited that can. Of course, our nurses and doctors are a little busy here. But at noon, there'll be a gathering of community leaders and pastors and other folk of the area. Everyone is invited. So let us pray. Father, we come to you in the name of the one who was wounded for our transgressions and bruised for our iniquities, the one whose suffering brings us comfort and whose death brings us life. Thank you that it is with his stripes we are healed. Months ago, we asked your blessing, protection, and provision for the project that was then before us, and today we stand in it completed. May the excellence of this facility and the complex tools of healing housed within it be matched by the deep compassion of the caregivers who will labor here. Guide them, grant them skill and discernment, and uphold them in the life and death decisions and tedious duties they will face daily in this unit. In this place, a virtual army for years to come, an army of doctors and nurses, therapists and aides, and an innumerable support staff will wage war against illness and injury. May you help them to endure hardness as good soldiers, that they may please you who has chosen them and equipped them in their high calling. May they fear you and thus find wisdom, follow your guiding hand, and leave the outcome to your providential care of the sick and hurting. Arise over this unit with healing in your wings. We recognize that as an ICU, some will step from time into eternity in this place. For those patients and their loved ones, may your Spirit be their comforter, and in those hard moments strengthen the staff as they struggle with our own frailties. Be our refuge and fortress, and bless this new endeavor of healing and hope. In the name of the one you've made to be our high priest of good things to come, we humbly ask your blessing. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ben. There are so many people today that we're going to want to thank for what they have done, and I'm going to start out by having Jay Hutchins come up.
That's good. There's not enough space in here.
Here's Jay, and I also want Lynn to come up. Lynn is the manager for the ICU, and Jay has absolutely shepherded this every step of the way. I mean, to the most minute detail of putting up the right type of boxes for our exam gloves to go in. He picked out the artwork. I tell you, he did not leave anything to chance. He covered every single detail. He has been here 24/7. When you look around too at all of the equipment and everything that we have in here, Lynn has been instrumental in making sure that we had the right stakeholders at the table to pick that, including some of the interior designs. This has all been done by these two individuals with this incredible team that Jay's going to tell you about. The other thing is I have my, come over here, don't move, come over here. Dr. Hedelius, who is the medical director, Dr. B, These are our intensivists, and they made sure that Lynn and Jay paid attention to every single detail. They take such fabulous care of our patients here. We did such a wonderful job during COVID. I think that we've got results that I'd say would challenge anybody in the entire country in terms of how our patients did. And I just can't thank these folks enough, because without these individuals here and all of the support that they got to do this, because I mean, it took more than just 4, but you have to have folks that lead the way, that show us what we need to do. And I just can't thank them enough. We have a lot of special guests here. We have, I'm going to let you talk at this point, Jay.
Okay.
But I do want to say, we've got board members here today. We've got board members from Atlanta here today. I've got the mayor. I've got Amberly with the chamber, and we're going to let them talk for just a moment too. But first, I want Jay to step up here. He's got some other folks and some comments he'd like to
Well,
make.
I first, Denise, thank you so much. That's very kind of you, but honestly, I am supported by a team that is already here and just feel blessed to have them. The list is long, and I hope I don't forget anyone, but the very first person I want to say thank you to is Norman Childers. Norman Childers has influenced every aspect of this project, and I can't, and he's hiding in the corner, and that's where Norman is. He has been with this project, and calling him my right hand doesn't serve me well enough. Couldn't have done anything without him. David Yu as well, from our real estate team, from our corporate. The three of us, along with Lynn, were really the team within the project. So Denise said some really nice things. But really, these two folks were along and with Lynn as our project team. For my team as well, our facilities folks, Todd is at the facilities supervisor and has helped manage that team to help support along the way. From Piedmont, we had our IT team. We're thankful for them, John Richmond, and all of the rest here, David Norwood as well. From the system, we have a real estate team that's behind it. So Kethan and Jason Cash is here to help support us within the system as well. We have clinical folks. We have, I'm looking across, we have the pharmacy. We have our house supervisors. We have our EVS team. This place does not get looking like this without them internally. HR is helping fill what's the most important thing is the personnel that's going to be taking care of those patients here. So thank you for all of them, all the other support staff that we have here. And then I kind of looked to this direction is the project team related to our construction project. So at the very beginning, we have our architects. So everyone from HRD they have been help supporting Mountainside for expansion projects along the way. So Melissa and Bob, thank you for all of your help to get us here. Every little detail, from the height of the chandelier to the flow and the curve of this desk, was designed by someone. So all those nice things that Denise said that I picked out was not true. It's really them helping, and we're just shepherding them through. From there, we have our construction team and J.E. Dunn. And so we have a few of those folks here. And this project and these walls were built with their hands and their team. So with Robbie, I just can't thank you enough, and Brianna has just really become like a right hand to our project team, following up on all those little things that Denise mentioned. That's in your court, and I just can't thank the two of you enough for getting us here. And then we have a dozen or more subs. I appreciate being here for Newcomb and Boyd. We have all other subs. So whether it's a lighting sub or a contractor that's doing plumbing, there are hundreds. At one point we counted, I think we had 100 almost individuals in this little building because this went so fast. So, and then from there, I just want to thank our executive team, specifically my boss, which is Lindsay, and then Denise as well, for helping us get this off the ground. Without their support, none of this would have happened, and then for all those other system people. So I know I probably did forget a few people, so I'll let you finish up and go from there.
Thank you, Jay. I mean, it does. It takes a village, and we've said that before when we actually had the ribbon cutting or the groundbreaking, actually. And so thank you for coming up, Jay, and making sure that we recognize everyone that we can. And if we forgot someone, please know that it was definitely not intentional. I was going to see, Mayor, would you like to make a comment?
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. I'll step on your stool here.
Okay.
It's exciting to see all of you here. From the 1960s, when Pickens General Hospital first opened, later transitioned over to Mountainside Medical Center. In May 29, 2003, I have a reminder in the mayor's office every day, a piece of glass etched with the original outlook and layout of this facility when it moved over, and that sits in my office every day. Piedmont came to Jasper, and Piedmont changed Pickens forever. And so as I look at Piedmont Mountainside and the people that are here, Norman, people like you, and Kayla, and Donna Reese, all of you, Denise, Jay, Lynn, you aren't treating and caring for patients, you are treating and caring for people. Those people are our families, they are our friends, and you are forever changing lives. And so the motto is true, real change lives here. What also lives here are all of the departments Jay mentioned. From EVS all the way through, left to right, every single department, hand in hand with the other, you're changing lives, you're saving individuals. So thank you for what you do. Thank you, staff, for living here. I know you spend as much time here as you do at home with your real family. And so from the city of Jasper, all of our departments, we thank you, and on behalf of our community, thank you very much.
Amberly Godfrey to come up, and she's going the chamber administrator for Pickens County, and she's going to say a few words.
I am, and I'm short, so. I want to thank Denise and everybody in this facility that came together to provide us with quality care. And it doesn't stop here in Pickens County, it's regional, right, Jennifer? It goes everywhere. There's so many people that come here for quality care right in our neighborhood. And I watched when you moved to here, and I've watched this facility just grow. So you can care for us, and y'all can care for our neighbors, and everybody from way up to way down, everyone works together to provide us the care that our community deserves. And for that, we are very grateful, because we know it's not easy, and we know we truly work hard, and your heart's in it. And if you ever, I hope you don't need their services. I hope you just get to drive by and say, oh, what a pretty hospital. But if you do need their services, you can rest assured that you're gonna receive quality care here. So thank you to everyone that has a part in this. It's truly appreciated. Thank you.
Dr. Adelius, our medical director.
I don't know, do you need me to step up? So, I'm Dr. Adelius, Dr. B, Dr. Bathalva, he's here with me. So in 2019, as you all know, I showed up to this little tiny place. I say tiny, but it's really home. It was a 6-bed ICU, and look where we are now. COVID really pushed us into the, I guess, hardest times for all of us. We went from 6 beds to 24 intubated ventilators in the ED, flowing over the EE, flowing into the hallways. And here we are finally building a real ICU in here where we've got 16 beds dedicated to one area. I think Dr. B and I will agree it's nice not to have to wear roller skates anymore and be in one area where we can do most of the critical care, with medicine. The biggest thing that I want to say though is, we're trying to live the Piedmont promise, which is, care closer to home. And so that's one of the things we really working hard on, especially here. And we couldn't have done this without the community and the support of everybody. It's not just the two of us here, it's everybody in this room that makes it possible. If we didn't have support of our nurses, we didn't have the support of our RTs, and support of our lab techs, our EVS, everybody here. I mean, it's been a big growth, and like I say, I live in the community and I feel like this is my home too. So appreciate all your support, and I'm excited and I can't wait what we get to do in the future.
I'm Dr. Batsavle, so the way you say my name, the whole thing is Batsavle. No one probably knew that. When I was walking up here, I was thinking, I joined in 2021, and it's really remarkable. When I came to tour here, I think I got about a 90-second tour with Dr. Adelius through the 6-bed ICU, and I think we were maybe starting to go down to the short stay. Everybody's like, no, you don't need to see that. And this was in the rush of COVID. Things were kind of going crazy, and I was like, wow, this, on paper this place is a 52-bed hospital, 6-bed ICU, but you can tell, the second you walk in there, this is something much more than that. And I remember when I joined, I started in the ER ICU, which was essentially our makeshift third ICU
that point. And I still remember our census, our 52-bed hospital ICU census was, I think, in the upper 20s, 26 to 28. And, sure enough, that kind of catapulted us to this next era. And this ICU is going to help take us to the next, the next part of things. I just want to say thank you, thank you so much for having the faith in us to help take care of the community. And this is really, a really big step forward for Mountainside and for Pickens County.
I want Dr. Batty, who everyone has to know Dr. Batty. He is on the board at Atlanta. He was also the CEO in Atlanta while we were looking for our system CEO. He and I go all the way back to when I was in Atlanta, and he's on the board here for Mountainside. So I'd like for you to say a few words.
Thanks, Denise. A lot of, as I've mentioned, has already been done about just how crowded things were in COVID. And we have a leadership call 3 times a week with the CEOs of the 18 facilities and the vice presidents of all the support staff to sort of tell, share what's going on at different campuses. And every day, Denise would say, I've got, 10 patients in the ER, and I said, I've got no place I can put in the ICU. Dr. Batty, you got 600 beds down there in Atlanta. Give me a hand. So selfishly, I hopefully won't have to hear that anymore, but I'm sure we're available. No, I mean, Denise's leadership, the new tagline for Piedmont is, I came for the job but stayed for the people, and I think Denise is an embodiment of that, and that's what you built here with your staff is just enviable for us all. So we're so glad to be able to support growth like this. We have about 7 projects going now for bed expansion. Something happened about a year after COVID sort of filtered away, where all of our volumes are 20% up from what they were before. And, I think that's going to continue to grow, especially with leadership like that. So we're very proud of you.
I just felt like it was very important today. This is not something that you do every day. And I want those folks who have been instrumental in making this happen to have the opportunity to come up here and to say a few words. And there still may be others who would like to step up, and if you do and would like to come up and talk, please, I don't want to leave anybody else out. I see Chad Case back over here. Dr. Case is back here. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Sure. I would just echo everybody's comments about how proud a moment this is to see such a beautiful ICU here. Being in the intensive care unit, as all of you know, is one of the most stressful things that families can go through. Somebody told me one time they love to work in that hospital because that's where we enter the world and most of us leave. And so having a beautiful place like this for patients is really a moment of pride. And I think that care close to home component that everybody keeps touching on, about how we were at 6 beds and now we're at 16 beds. A strong ICU program really supports the community and the patients and all the physicians in the building to help their patients stay in their community. And so let's do a round of applause for all these leaders that made this.
And I'd be very remiss if I do not mention Jason Smith, who is on our board. And Jason Smith is not just on the board here. He works for ETC. He's a VP with them. And him and his company, when you look around here today, I want you to know they probably contributed a couple of $1 million over the last several years to make this happen. And without that, it might have taken us longer to get here. But again, I feel like communities thrive when they have that partnership with all the businesses and all of the organizations that's out there coming together. The reason we've seen the growth in our community here is because we do have good health care. That's the things that people want to know before they move to your to your neighborhoods, to your communities, is what kind of health care do you have? What kind of school systems do you have? And if those things are not good and in place, people will seek to live somewhere else. This community has grown significantly in the 12 years that I've been here. And I'm telling you, we could not have done it. We could not have this today if it had not been for folks like Jason Smith and ETC and Amberly and Jennifer in Gilmer County and all of you that are standing out here today coming together to help us build what we have. We've got Richard Hubbard here today. Richard has been on our board pretty much since I've been here. And you know what? There's supposed to be a limit to the number of years they've been on board, and we just don't go out and tell anyone because we want him to always be on it. He takes his time no matter where he is to help us. And he was at Atlanta as the CEO. He was at Noonan as the CEO for Piedmont. So he is definitely such a strong advocate for us. And make sure that we know what's going on in Big Canoe and some of the other places that we serve. And again, I won't belabor it any longer, but if I forgot someone, please know it's not intentional. And if there's anybody else that would like to come up, please do, because like I said, every 12 years, it may be a while before we get to do this, before we do this again. And Donna?
I got it real quick. I forgot one person.
Get up here.
Three people, actually,
Okay.
the most important people.
Yeah.
Can I see 1, 2, and 3? I've been back there biting my tongue.
Bring them on.
Come here.
He said, I got it.
We spend hours and late nights and long days, and I forgot my family. They came out.
Thank you. Should have said this. Donna, I'd like to thank y'all too, your
And
team
Olivia.
that's here,
And
Olivia and Amber, for everything y'all done to make this happen here today, because we wouldn't have anything to eat if it wasn't for these wonderful ladies and their organization. So thank y'all so much. All right, I think it's time for us to eat.
Got a ribbon. Got a ribbon.
Oh, yes. I didn't know we were going to do that today. Jay Bird?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1, 2, go.
That's it. Yes, we're talking about the cabinets that we have outside of each of the rooms where you can actually access them from the other side. We can use them for, we can put our infection control bins here. We can put medications in this. And see if you can get to them on this side too. 16 beds in here. They are ICU and intermediate care that we have, so that we've got the step down. We've also got nursing stations right here so that they can sit here and look at each of these 2 rooms. Nurse, typically in ICU, takes care of 2 patients. And so this makes it very perfect for them. We've got the manager in the department and the medical director. They have offices right here inside the unit. You know, they've got a nice break. Is this the med room in here?
It is.
So our medication room is in here, and you can see the Pyxis. You see the refrigerator for medications.
Then there'll be another Pyxis and a big tower full of fluids that will come with the transfer.
And here's the nutrition room for the patients.